the first thing we're going to show you is this bag right here. So I'm going to have to kind of unstuff it so you can see. But this is a cool, it's just a tote that we got at the craft store. I would suggest you wash your tote, wash any of your fabric first. So this is what it looks like finished. And see how cool it is? It's like really, everywhere that is bright white is where the Mod Podge was. So on the other side, we'll take the stuffing out just for a minute. So
the propping.
The propping.
Easy.
Okay. So on this side, you can see that's the Mod Podge. So here's the illustration. Very simple. I just cut a piece of poster board with a Sharpie. Okay, and then once you slide it inside, see how you can see it through? Okay, so that's the artwork. So I'm going to do this little flower right here. So if you can hand me a bowl, Anna, that'd be great. So here's another little secret you can do. One of the things about the glossy, or any of the Mod Podge, they're super clear. So when you're working, sometimes you lose where your design is because it's so clear. So one of the things you can do, and you want to use something that's washable. Temper paints would work, but here I've got some watercolor. So what I'm going to do is just add some water to the watercolor. And you can really, I like to use yellow just because I know for sure it will wash out. Sometimes reds can have a dye in them that can stain. And then you just mix the watercolor in with the kids' washout, so it makes it a color. So when you put this through the laundry, it's going to get rid of the kids' washout and the yellow watercolor. And from there, you should always use your Mod Podge brushes, not your paint brushes, which I just did. I have my Mod Podge brushes, and then I have my paint brushes, but I just got overly excited and just used my paintbrush. But here's what you should use. You don't ever want to mix them. So what we're going to do now is we're going to paint, and if you want to paint some dots in the background, because I think we had dots on the other side.
Yeah.
So you just use a little bit of the paint. Here we'll just, and you treat the kids' washout like paint, and then you just paint it on. And the cool thing about it is it dries probably in about less than an hour. The kids' washout, this dries really quickly. So then you just make solid lines like this. And then once you get your design all the way done, let it dry for an hour. Then you're going to go back with the fabric paint. So I'll show you about the fabric paint.
And we have friends joining us from Vegas and Kentucky.
Oh, right.
Be sure to let us know in the comments if you've ever used this formula. If you've ever used Mod Podge Kids Washout. And if you want to learn a little bit more about our other formulas, our Ultimate Guide to Mod Podge is at plaidonline.com/Mod Podge Guide. It's this amazing free ebook.
It's what we call our library, or our big book of ideas. So you definitely don't want to miss out on that.
And it gives you all kinds of tips and tricks with Mod Podge. So I just squeezed out a little bit of the Fabric Creations Poppy color. And so this is dry already. So I'm going to, what you do is you paint up to the line and go over the glue of the kids' washout. You're going to want to go over it. And I can just go directly over if you want to do one over there.
Okay.
Yeah, we can share. So you're going to go over and the one thing to remember is say, let me do an example for you. Say you think you're close to the glue and you're scared to go over the glue and it's kind of raggy right there. You want to make sure it's solid so that you have a solid white line when it washes out. And it makes a nice barrier for you, so it makes it really clean.
One trick that I learned from Suzanne yesterday when I was helping her make some samples, you can dilute our Fabric Creations paint to create almost a watercolor effect, like what you see on this little guy here.
Which we're gonna
cover how to do that exactly.
Yeah,
but it is a really cool technique.
And for kids and stuff too.
Yeah, kids.
And speaking of the fabric paint, Sharon, yes, we are using fabric paint. If you want to get a quick shot of the fabric creations.
Yes, if you're working with fabric, you guys should definitely be using Fabric Creations.
And you can find you can find this in the craft stores in the clothing area, usually with t-shirt apparel. And the one thing about this is it's super soft when it's washed. I mean, it's very soft. I have a couple of shirts that I bought some eyelet shirts and I kind of washed in it, and it's really soft. So now this is going to dry, and now I can go back with the blue and go around and meet up with the rest of the red with the blue. And then once this is all dry, you're going to be able to just throw it in the washing machine.
Yeah.
And and I would wash it on just warm water, cool dry. Now, if you want to wash it immediately, you need to iron it so that you set the paint.
That's a very good tip.
Yes. Now, if you don't want to wash it immediately and you can let it dry overnight, that's probably a little better, but it depends on the effect, because here's a cool effect that we did with this little bag. This one is a boo bag.
We're getting ready for Halloween.
We're getting ready for Halloween for kids. So this one, and if you can see, can you see it okay? Can't tell. Okay. This one was done where we painted the ghost, and you could have your kids do this. They could do ghost. I was thinking a skeleton would be
that would be really cute.
So you do the ghost. We painted boo and lots of little tick marks, did these little white stripes up here, and then let it dry. And it, like I said, it took like an hour for it to dry, and then you go over it with the Fabric Creations. I think it's just the black paint, and I went over it completely. But here's the thing: I let it dry to the touch. But I didn't use an iron on it, and I just went ahead and put it in the wash. And when I did that, it gave you this tie-dye effect. So now if I had set it with an iron, it would have.
But would have been more opaque black.
Now, if you're going to do it with the iron, you don't want to put this on your ironing board straight down. You want to put some wax paper, because you're going to make the glue be a little sticky. So you just make sure you put something over your iron beforehand. And if any paper or anything sticks, like for instance, if inside the bag or inside anything and the paper sticks to your glue, don't worry about it. My daughter did this project with a bunch of kids at a summer camp, and they all did all these t-shirts, and she put paper up underneath it with their drawings. And then when she went to peel the paper off, she called me, "Oh my God, Mom, I forgot to take the paper out." I said, "Don't worry, just put it in your washing machine, and the water just agitated it and all came clean."
Yeah.
So it's very forgiving that way. So that's a really cool effect in washing it immediately if you want to. There's lots of things that the kids could do. They could do their own drawings. So again, on this one, we rinsed it. So we're actually going to show you some that we've rinsed. So we're going to give you a couple of ideas, but